Hey YouTube, it is League Turnover, and unfortunately, it is only Catch Cup. So Catch Cup means you can only use Pokemon that you have caught during this season of GPL. So how to search for that is you go age. I did this on Thursday, so 0 to 77. It could be 78 today, and CP minus 1500. And basically, what this will do is it will give you all your Pokemon below 1500 that you've caught in the last 77 days. So here's my list. So what I did for these teams was I just started and I went down the list and said, let's see what I have. And then I just built teams based on this. Where there is limitation in this is, for example, you're not going to see any Glygars on here. But I know I've caught multiple Glygars this season, and I've got a team with Gligar because I know I've caught them this season. I just already have Gligar built up. I already have Gliscor built up. They're not IVs I want. I just toss them. So that's your sort of limitation. So the best way to do this is just wait until turnover, 4 p.m. Eastern time where I am, or you can do this and just be aware that you may have more. I mean, there may be more options, but if you don't have it yet, you can actually just search this, because if you don't have it, then you don't have it, right? But if you do have it, you can start building teams with. So, what I'm going to just bring up number one, and you saw this on my list, and there's a couple more. There's Medi, Chargebug, Lickitung, Asant Slash, Carbink, Gligar. Guaranteed there are those six. Put those six together, essentially, right? It's very easy just to run a very meta line in this. So Metachant Lickitung is a good combo. You're going to have a bit of problems with flyers. So Chargebug put in there. It kind of makes you a little weak to Gligar. So if you want to run like an ABB, you can either, instead of Lickitung as a safe swap, you can use Chargebug or Medi as a safe swap, but you can do like Chargebug lead Medi with a Sand Slash in the back to cover flyers like Gligar. There's just a lot of just easy combo teams that you can use for this meta. So last season when I did this, I just did, here are the best 10 Great League teams that I used this season. And 80% of the time, I think it worked. There was a couple I put together, like, you have a Registeel on your team, but Registeel wasn't available. So it's like, okay, so what I tried to do this season is just like go through my list and make some unique teams based on what I have, or not so unique here, but I get some a little more unique as we go along here. If you seem that you have like a lot of Pokemon that there's not listed here, you can also just search back in my history of GPL teams for the Great League over this past season, because I'm sure there's been some combo through there. But team number one, as you're going to see, is just very, very safe, well-rounded, covers most of the meta there. And then team two is same sort of thing. Team two is Carbink, Gligar, and Shadow Vic. I put in Shadow Vic because Superior was a better option, but I just didn't know if Superior was around this season. So I know Shadow Vic was, so I just put in Shadow Vic. But you can put in another grass. The thing with this team is you are double weak to ice. Gligar and Shadow Vic are weak to ice, so if you get like an Asant Slash, Asant just kind of trouble for this team. So you could also do what the other options were. So basically you need to kind of cover your water Swampert weakness, essentially, right? Gligar versus Swampert is actually kind of an evenish matchup, but Carbink is just going to get walled by Swampert and stuff like that. So you can see the two less Swampert, which is why they recommended grass. You don't need to go grass here. You can just go something else in the front or in the mid game or whatever that can cover that weakness. You can lead Gligar. Gligar is pretty safe. And again, even that Swampert matchup is shadow dependent on both of you, right? If you're, I think the rule is if you're both a Shadow Swampert is going to one-shot you. If one of you is a Shadow and the other one's not, I think Gligar wins that matchup. And then I think in the even, no Shadows, Swampert wins. So I think that's how it works out. But yeah, you can just cover that weakness with a grass. You'll be double weak to ice, but I'm sure there's like other waters or something that you can also cover Swampert's weakness on, or just like a regular Pokemon like Metacham or something. Like Metacham will cover Swampert. It's not the best cover, but it wins. So just keep that in mind if you want to use some sort of Carbink and Gligar team. So here's where we're going to get a little more off. So you saw all the Yamask we just had. We just had the Halloween. So Coffagrigus is one to build up. It's pretty good in the fact that against most things, it's either just going to do super well against like Medis are everywhere, right? So that's just well against there. Or it just like soft wins or soft losses. It's just kind of good against everything except for darks. You do not have anything to throw at dark Pokemon. Your charge moves, your Shadow Claw, Shadow Ball, and like a Dark Pulse or Psychic. So you don't have anything to throw at dark. So you need to kind of cover that dark weakness. There's no formula. Like there's like in my thing there was Clefable. So you can go like Cofagrigus, Clefable if you really want to like truly cover just the dark weakness and then have a safe swap like Pelipper. That's an option. I just use Steelix and Pelipper because I'm also just in the off chance, I don't know how many darks there have been this past season, in the off chance that there's some, I think realistically Steelix and Pelipper can probably combo those. Pelipper, generally safe. Again, I'm assuming, I know, 100% Lantern has been available. I saw Lantern the other day. So Lantern is available. Just keep that in mind. I didn't even build a Lantern team. So that's the thing. I got a bunch of teams here, but in the end, I think it's probably going to be like, maybe we'll bring up PV Poke after. In the end, it's still just maybe like the 20 of the top, like 18 or 19 of the top 20 Pokemon anyways, minus like Registeel and Cress, essentially. But yeah, Pelipper, Steelix seem to be pretty safe overall in the meta. Team number 4. Speaking about what else was available right now, actually, Jellicent. If you don't want to use Cofagrigus, Jellicent gives you a little more flexibility. You add a electric weakness and stuff, but it makes you better against Swampert. Gives you Surf for like Gligar and stuff like that, while still beating Medicham. So it's pretty strong, Jellicent in this meta. If you're gonna have that, you're gonna have problems against like Lickitung and Grass. So I covered that with A Slash, Shadow A Slash is available. I have one. You don't need to put Shadow Claw on it because you can just use Powder Snow on it, right? So that is how you cover the grass weakness. And then, so they cover each other's, and then I went for third. Basically, just use a safe swap if you're going to use this team. Toxicroak's an interesting one, but you can use, I just wanted to use different Pokemon. Toxicroak's going to cover your like Lickitung and Carbink and Registeel and all the stuff like that the others are going to have a bit of problems with. But you can use Medi, right? I just wanted to try and use unique Pokemon, but Medi and whatever other fighter fits the bill there as well. These last two were going a little more off board. So I started with Skeledirge because I had it built up. So I'm like, hey, let's use Skeledirge. It's like destroys Medicham, but that's about it. Has a lot of other problems, so it's trying to cover all those problems. Arctibax is one that came up, and I was like, okay, that's an interesting one. Dragon Ice, right? It covers a decent amount of the weaknesses like that your one Pokemon has, and then Hitmontop was the recommendation. I'm like, oh, I have a Shadow Hitmonchan. Is Hitmontop even available this season? So that's why I put in Hitmontop, but Hitmonchan, just whatever else as a cover there. So again, a little more off the board if you're looking for a little more spice, as opposed to just being like super meta. And the last one here is Golisopod, Clodsire, Emolga. So Clodsire, Golisopod, Emolga. So I used Emolga. I just did a video on it, and I think it's like not as good anymore. So you don't have to use it. It has some wins, right? It's got some wins as you can see here, but I think it's a little overrated where it is now. Golisopod and Clodsire, as you can see, a lot of losses on here, but I think that's sort of, it's not that it's false, but I think that like both act as like super strong safe swaps with like decent matchups overall, like no hard losses. So either can be used as safe swaps. You don't need to use this exact team, but just think about Golisopod, Clodsire as potential options for teams that I haven't covered yet. So that is it. I won't be able to just bring up the rankings. I mean, I could, but if you go to PPoke rankings, right? Medi, Carbink, Lickitung, Gligar, for sure there. Swampert, was Swampert available this season? I honestly do not remember if Mudkip was available this season. So Swampert may or may not be here. Registeel probably not. Steelix, yes. Poliwrath, I think so. Clodsire, yes. Shadow Whiscash, yes. Stunfisk, yeah, I've seen Stunfisk, yep. Mandibuzz, I'm assuming you can still hatch. Pelipper, yes, I've seen doubles. Sableye, were Sableye available in the past? Were they I forget if, oh yeah, no, I definitely just saw Daxi catch one the other day. So Sableye is available. I don't know about return though. I don't know if the shadow version was available. Scrafty, so Cresselia probably not. But then Superior is the other one that I was like, was it around? So when you look at the top ranked Pokemon, it's still going to be 80% the same. So if you want a combo, like I said, Medi, Carbink, Lickitung, Gligar, Clodsire, Pelipper, Ace Sandslash, like you can just combo those in some form and probably be fine in the Catch Cup. So good luck. Let me know if you have any battle submissions for this week. Send them to the link, because as you saw on my list, I've only have like 3 or 4 built up, and with already hitting legend 2 weeks left in the season, I'm not going to be building up a bunch of Pokemon. So I do have some other Great League battles from earlier in the season and Ultra League, so I may like recycle those if I don't have anything else, or I may do like the one-offs, like discussion on like the algorithm or something else. So I may do those videos. But if you have any of these catch up videos for your late season push, or you just want me to review, please send those link in the description. So that is it. Thanks for watching. Good luck on the final 2-week push, and I'll see you guys in the next one.